And welcome back, everyone. Happy New Year. This is This Week in Coverager. This is the podcast where we discuss some of the hot topics of the week in insurtech, insurance, finance, fintech, and whatever. And I am outdoors to make you all envious in podcasting headquarters in Naples, Florida. As usual, my guest, my co-host, Avi in Coverager headquarters number 1 in Queens, and Sheffy in Coverager headquarters number also 1, maybe 1A in Brooklyn. Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year. And
Happy
yes,
New Year.
I'm jealous. We leave the house less and less as this thing progresses. But
Yeah,
I like your new shirt, hoodie.
it's
do.
courtesy
Me
of
too.
Ask Kodiak, which they're the best in.
Go back a little bit so we can see the logo. Go back. Oh, that's nice.
I
I
was
was gonna put just a T-shirt on, but the
I
thing
thought-
is, I got cold.
I thought it was
So,
Penn
thank you.
State, but
Thank you so much.
I like that. That's nice. So, Alan, where's Avi's sweatshirt? Where's my sweatshirt?
Abby's coming over in a bit, so
Okay.
I was going to keep his hat as well, but I'm gonna give it to you.
Well, I love it. It looks good. So this is the podcast where we talk about hot topics of the week. We haven't, because of the holidays, we've been fairly quiet, but ready to pick up 2021. It's going to be, if the first week is any indication, I think we're just picking up where we left off in 2020. So without getting into politics or anything, Avi, I'll kick it over to you. What is the first topic of the week?
So the latest insurtech disruptor or insurance disruptor, Dayforward, they announced that they're about to launch. They didn't really share what new insurance product they're launching, new life insurance product. They said something completely different. This week we uncovered it. Income protection is the new life insurance. That's what they say. Obviously, income protection is nothing new. But of course, different than your traditional Bestow, Haven Life, although we'll talk about Haven Life. They do offer a similar product. So income protection, I want to tell you from my personal perspective, as someone that recently bought, 2-3 years ago, I got term life insurance as my son was born. And I'll tell you what I was thinking, and I don't know if I'm the only one here, but the most common product with term life is a 20-year term. So I was saying in my head, okay, I'm 32, 20 years, I'll be 52. So let's say I get to live beyond the term, but then I move on to heaven or hell or whatever happens at age 53. So a year after my policy ended, and of course I go on and there's nothing there.
Yep.
So I said to myself, can I make the product longer? So then I ended up settling for a term 80, which you can, keep it for a longer time. The problem with Dayforward, their product is it's going to get people to think about it. So the way it works is very simple. They tell you that they cover you until your youngest kid until reaches age 21. But if you
Some
happen
exceptions
to
apply, but that's
some exceptions apply. Yeah, but let's say you started. Let's say I bought the product and I bought it when I was 32. When my son was just born, he reaches the age 11, and I got for kind of like $1 million coverage. When you calculate my income, how much they would pay every month, so a grand total of $1 million. If I paid for the policy for 10 years, then and I go on, then my kid will only get the equivalent of 500,000. So the more you pay, the older your kid gets, the less of a salary protection or income protection that they will receive. So to me, the ultimate question is this: if my kid, is 11 when the tragedy happens, do I want him with $1 million or do I want him with half of the amount? If he reaches the age of 15, it goes to be even lower than that, up until a point where they pay at least, they say, for 3 years equivalent of salary protection. So if it was me, I would definitely say no. Like if my kid, gets to 18 and there's, 3 more years and he's only left with, a lower amount, I don't know if this is a good product. I think I would rather take my chances with a term 20, term 30, and know that no matter what, if something happens during that term, I get the full amount and it doesn't decrease in time. What do you think?
Do you want to go first, Sheffy? You're on mute.
You're on mute.
I'm unmuted.
You already
Welcome to New York City traffic. So, I think so. Haven Life has a salary. It's called salary protection, right? I don't really have a strong opinion about life insurance. I'm not the target audience, but I am curious about that $5 monthly subscription that they are also collecting. It's nice that they put the money up front, so it's easier to see. But not what it's a bit of a disappointment because that's not what I expected from Dayforward after all our expectation, knowing where the founder is coming from. But it's too early to judge, so we'll wait and see. Yeah. The red brings Singapore life to life, but we shall see.
I think life insurance is one of those products that at face value seems like, oh, this is pretty simple, right? Mortality table. But the issue is exactly how I think Avi kind of painted it and framed it, which is it has a particular solution you're trying to use it for. The problem is that the amount of solution or how you get that solution is dramatically changing. So when you're young, your situation is has a certain flux to it. That flux changes either significantly or less significantly over time. And that's one of the things with life insurance is that you almost always have to stay on top of it. There are always life events. You're getting married, you're purchasing assets, you're having children, you start a company and you have stakeholders and they all sort of want like their own unique thing. And I don't know, Avi, my guess is that they must have done some market research that indicated that someone wanted something like this, but it seems like a very significant niche.
If you read the market, I can tell you the pandemic has proved that many young professionals, not teenagers, college graduates are moving back with their parents because of the financial struggle. Yeah. So if that's what I think and that's what I'm thinking, I'm saying, well, even if my kid gets to be 21, if I don't make it big time and he's just, getting started, I want to be able to give him as much as I can possibly afford. So I'm not very happy with the fact that the payment will decrease in time. I'm actually saying, even if he does reach stage 21, even if he's 22, 23, if I could leave him with $1 million or he could pay off his, college debt or whatever that may be, yes, because it doesn't seem that, today, the young professionals are financially independent. And, as I said, we're seeing this, they're moving back home, they're renting longer. And I can tell you from my, personal experience, I'm not financially independent. Of course, both my parents are living and I wish them a long and happy life, but that is my thought process. And I am not very happy about the fact that it decreases the amount that will, because essentially it is the same cost. Like if I do my calculations, how much you pay for term life, it is the same cost. Now, I like the simplicity of the marketing. We talked about marketing. Obviously, this guy is a marketing professional. I like the way they use in marketing. They say cover your salary. It's easy for people to understand. They lose a salary, they get that replaced. But the problem is, if you really want to sell this product, you do need that employee benefits channel. That's something Haven Life did with Efficiency. It's a product also developed in partnership with Score. So they are distributing this through the employee benefits channel. I find that this is going to be a very challenging task because just like with Metro Mile, and we said this several times, when you get people to think about the insurance product, that's bad. The more they think, the lower your conversion rates. And again, ultimately, if it is for 20 years or maybe 25 years, if it's up to 26, they let your kid be up to 26. So again, term 20, term 25, term 30, I might as well go with AIG, know that for 30 years, I'm going to get $1 million no matter what, whether I die at the year 28 or the year 15. So that's my thoughts about this. And I think they're going to have a difficult time.
But there is some good news. So I read this article from the New York Times today. You're not going to believe this, but there's a term like a pandemic baby. So more people are having children nowadays. And this is, they're talking
Are
to
they?
sperm bank. They are. Listen to this. So many people want a pandemic baby, but some sperm banks are running low. So there's more demand, more men coming in to give less men coming in to give in their sperm. And I think that's good news for life insurance companies because
Well, but this is the problem, because actually they're saying that people are now.
I'm not sure what
I think
sort of
there's two
family
sides.
this is,
There's
but
two sides to this coin, because I can tell you there are people that are now kind of thinking about their finances, and they say, "Can we afford another child? Let's put it on hold."
oh, absolutely.
So
But
yeah, so
this
there's
is
that,
a
and
glass half full for someone.
it's a glass
And you
half
know
full
what this tells
for
you is that
Amazon. It's a glass half full.
we really have to get Amazon regulated and the internet regulated, but that's a different topic. And not stop buying everything from Amazon, people. But besides that,
I told you what I do.
We can't help it.
I buy
Yes,
and return. I buy and return to hurt them on the return, the shipping and the return. That's what I do. That's how I'm going to destroy Amazon.
By yourself.
Buy and return. Yeah.
I return
somebody did really. So I live in Brooklyn, and there's a few signs going around that buy from Brooklyn, not from Bezos, and
That's catchy.
I try.
I'm okay with that. Yeah, no, I'm okay with it. I say to each their own. You don't have to buy from Amazon. I think it's he's doing plenty fine. They're doing plenty fine. Well, I think we can spread the wealth around. Buy local. That's fair. Yeah.
So look for new entrants in the form of babies, and I just don't expect that the life insurance product is going to be dramatically different. It's a good product to begin with, so it's just a matter of marketing it the right way.
So this reminds me of the Peter Thiel saying, they promised us flying cars. Instead, we got 160 characters. Of course, referring to Twitter. It's like you get all of these insurtechs come in and like sort of like we predicted. We had big hopes, but they're not dramatically changing the product. They're it's like we're gonna do this.
And let me tell you, I think this is a bad product. If you ask me, if I was the CEO of the company, I wouldn't feel comfortable selling a product like that, because again, then the surprise happens and someone was saying, "What do you mean? I thought I got it for this amount." And I don't know.
Think it should be flipped, Avi. I almost think people make more money as they get older. The income protection should go up.
They allow you to adjust it. But still, as the years go by, they will pay up until your kid is either 21 or 26 to some extension. And of course, until you reach the age of 67. Listen, I think nowadays people need more money, not less. And the fact that the payout decreases, I wouldn't advise. I wouldn't buy for myself. I wouldn't advise any of my friends, not that I have any, but I wouldn't advise them to buy this product. I rather take my chances 20, 25, 30 years, and let's see what happens.
Sheffy, referring to the subscription fee, just a guess on my part, they probably have prearranged a certain commission structure that probably is very different than the rest of the market. And so I kind of view that subscription almost like the way an MGA in the surplus lines business would view a policy fee. So for us, we kind of view like, okay, our commission is part of our compensation for distribution, but that doesn't compensate us for the actual back office, like running models and doing analytics and stuff like that. I'm guessing, I don't know for sure, because I'd have to dig into that a little bit more. My guess is they're going to get paid a commission for the distribution as a sales incentive. And that subscription is kind of for them to garner back a lot of the technology they had to build to kind of offer this, which they're separating from distribution compensation. Just a guess.
Okay. I'm not sure. I didn't see anything about commission. The product is reinsured by Munich Re, so they are going the route of are a licensed carrier. I have noticed we kind of read a fine print. I'm not going to call names, but there are definitely insurtechs out there that if you read enough of the fine print, you'll understand that yes, there's a commission involved, and yes, there's a fee for using whatever technology they provide. it's a gray area, and I can tell you that when I ask, when I go back to the media rep and ask, usually I don't get a response back, but I know what I read, I understand it, and there's a fee involved for offering for being an insurtech company.
Yeah, well, at least they're admitting it, better than hiding it. They're full disclosure, so have to give them credit for that. So that wasn't the only life or health story of the week. I think topic number 2 is not quite a clean segue, but close enough.
Yeah, so I guess we talked a little bit about Haven Life having a similar product to Dayforward, and obviously there's Haven. So that was the healthcare initiative of Berkshire Hathaway, Amazon, and JP Morgan. And they launched with this promise to bring down healthcare costs and just deliver better healthcare. And they shut down. They announced their plans to shut down. Part of it is because of the pandemic influencing their priorities, and then the second part is you've got too many cooks in the kitchen between JP Morgan, Amazon, and Berkshire Hathaway. And the third was this was an analysis, and I can't remember where I read this, but somebody was basically mentioning, look, altogether this is a base of maybe 1.2 million employees, so very hard to kind of move the market and influence the healthcare pricing. So it's a disappointment in a sense. I mean, this whole week has been a disappointment, but we're not going to talk about politics. But it's not surprising, because every time we would we do this like on a almost weekly basis, you guys, where we track websites and all sorts of fun stuff. Part of it is automated, part of it is manual. And it was just, there's nothing there. There was nothing of substance. So no surprise, just a disappointment. Somebody else is going to have to save us. And I don't think it's going to be Oscar.
I'm not sure Amazon is saying goodbye to their aspirations. In healthcare, they may give it a go on their own, and because they have the pill pack, they have the distribution. Obviously, Walmart also has the distribution. So I don't know. As you said, like too many cooks in the kitchen, and no offense to Dairy Queen, but there's a limit to how many Dairy Queens you could have.
That's obviously a reference to Berkshire Hathaway owning Dairy Queen.
I you know what? I feel bad that I just said that, because when I was in quarantine in Maine with my in-laws, Dairy Queen was
the savior.
Was a safe place for me, And, but listen,
so I don't think Amazon should give up, because we were chatting right before we hit record, and Sheffy, you brought up how Amazon sort of gave it a good college try with their ability to text certain information to employees and stuff like that. It sounded like too many chefs, or the pieces of the puzzle didn't fit neatly together. Like maybe Amazon would have had a better chance if they had partnered with some other tech-ish companies where the employees were maybe perhaps a little bit more savvy or interested in doing that kind of stuff, because sounded like the Amazon employees, or Amazon was giving it a good college try. It could have been Berkshire Hathaway and JP Morgan that were just like, I just want to go see a doctor, and who cares? I don't know.
I think this is what it is. And I think, well, first of all, we can't just all say Amazon all the time. I mean, somebody has to save us. But the thing is that you have so many, if you're Jeff Bezos, you have so many options, and that's definitely not priority number one.
Yeah. I think, we had done some podcasts. There's a couple coming as well with some companies that are just doing, I think, some, I don't know, hard to say cutting edge things, but different things. So we did Brella on the supplemental health side, and we have another one that's coming up. And I don't know. I think the American healthcare system is so broken that you almost have to attack the problem, I think, from a completely different angle. I like the way Brella is kind of going after it, because it's, hey, your health is, I could see supplemental health growing and growing and growing, where you could get situations where companies decide, you know what, we'd be better off with a smaller health insurance benefit and a much bigger supplemental healthcare benefit, because it's smoother, it functions better, it's easier, you can introduce technology better, you get paid back faster and all of that stuff. Who knows? But clearly it was, I think our system might just be too broken.
Well, the CEO
It's
of
an opportunity. I think, sorry to cut you off, but with healthcare, this is actually an insurance product that you do use. So there is an emotion, there is something there, right? So we either like going to the doctor or we're not, we're either happy with our network or we aren't. You should have seen my sister's disappointment when she got the new health insurance and she couldn't find the doctor that she used to go to. I was like, what happened? Okay, this who? Yes, that's fine. You can find a different doctor. But no, she obviously she likes a certain physician. So you do see, AXA was talking so much about this. That yes, there's this thing about turning healthcare or promoting healthcare in a way that becomes, just more facilities, more people coming in. Geico had that chance, or Berkshire Hathaway, and they kind of, they didn't embrace it because of IT issues and priorities and whatnot. And I'm thinking, just get your ducks together, you guys, because this is an important topic, but they let it go. So
yeah.
Maybe Lemonade will come and save them.
No, they
please
won't.
no. Please no.
They won't.
Please don't.
Okay, I won't.
What do you think about Lemonade's ad? That generous ad where they talk about.
I liked Avi's tweet on it, and I liked the responses to it. Hey, listen. We're talking about them, right? They want to be in the same breath with the State Farms and all of that.
Just not with Assurant and Geico.
Yeah, I don't know.
I thought it was an odd. It was.
It's odd. It's cheesy. Yeah. There's a pretentiousness to it, but I don't know. I don't think we're the audience, Sheffy.
And
no,
by the way,
not.
New York Times reader is probably not the audience. The homeowners that still, like to do the crossword puzzle and have an agent and all of that. Although they are, putting more efforts into the homeowners now. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe Hippo should be concerned, maybe not. But they're definitely going now after homeowners with agents and, mortgage lenders and things in that nature.
Yeah. Well, they had a big spike yesterday. Their market cap is at $9 billion. To put that in perspective, that's almost double the entire premium of the annual renters insurance market. Double, right? That is, that's pretty significant. And full disclaimer, have to do the full disclaimer. I do own put options on Lemonade, but I've been shitting on them since the beginning of time. So this is nothing new. Ironically, my put options have been going up in price because the volatility of the options are exploding. So I'm still making money off of them. I should probably sell them because momentum's against me. But I think we're going to talk about them plenty in the coming weeks, I'm sure.
Last story.
Yes, please.
I don't know what it is.
Go Bear.
Oh, Go Bear. Go Bear went.
Go Bear goes home. Yeah.
Okay.
Went to hibernate.
Actually, so everything this week was not a surprise. This is a surprise. And
is it a surprise?
I never double check Avi's work, and I saw this in the morning, and it was like, is this the same Go Bear? And obviously, he was right.
But is it a surprise if you think about it? It's not really a startup. It's by Aegon and the other Dutch venture firm. Right. So I feel like this is more of a corporate move, and they're saying, where can we cut COVID, all of that stuff? Let's stop putting money in this operation. We didn't get to see the returns, and it's not like because they raised 80 million, then they raised 17 million in May, which apparently wasn't enough. I think it was losing a lot of money, and that's why they said, okay, let's stop.
I think insurance aggregators are definitely having a moment, and there are regions where their job is kind of priceless in the sense where people just, that's how they shop. They go to an insurance aggregator. That's not really the case in US yet or will ever be, but it felt like they did have a market share. I know that from one of the investor, it felt like he was confident in the investment. They were doing okay. So this is about 2.5, 3 years ago. So they kind of went into fintech, which I thought was the right move, and just goes to show you that you could do a lot of good things and still face some struggles, or decide, to your point, maybe they decided to give up, but.
Yeah, probably that's what it is, because it is funded by, it's like a corporate startup. It's not the real startup.
It's not
So,
new. Yeah.
yeah.
I'm not surprised. It's a tough act. We're talking about, I think a lot of folks get teased into, they see insurance, they see, $5 trillion of global premium. And so the total addressable market's this just absolutely ginormous. And they don't realize that, yeah, it's a $5 trillion business, but it is, as Warren Buffett said, it's a mediocre business. Like, you're talking very low margins. It's a product people don't want to buy. We keep hammering that home over and over and over again. And so there just isn't going to be that one saving grace. There's not going to be a Tesla of insurance that's just going to come in and just kind of wow everybody with the product and the offering. It just doesn't lend itself to that. And I think I think there's an opportunity for lots of firms to come in. I just don't think there's this lucrative pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. I have said many times, I would focus on areas where you can either take low margin business and turn it into high margin business. But I think there's a lot of areas in insurance that are already high margin that you can figure out how to get to, sell more mass market. That would be my approach, but what do I know? So,
Yeah.
Anyways,
That's a really important, I was speaking with one of our clients, and I suggested, like, there's so many things that you could do. They were specifically looking at all the new entrants, and specifically MGAs and digital insurers. And you can find a slot for almost everybody, right? From something very small, like, in the ride share, to on-demand cyber insurance, to obviously your conventional home insurance, right? So the question is, how do you want to play? Are you offering a conventional product, and how are you selling it? Are you, trying to be smart with the product and packaging it differently? That's a different way. But I think there's a question: are you going after the mass, or are you going after a very specific segment? And if you are, who owns that segment, and how are you going to get to it? But usually with insurance aggregators, it's going after the mass market.
Yeah.
Right.
And so you have to ask yourself, if you're going after that, who are these people? And how are we going to make money? It's not high margin business. It's low margin business. So you have to be really clever in your marketing and how you're attracting these people. And you have to keep your overhead razor sharp, like really thin. There's not a lot of margin. And I think there isn't really a lot of magic like an aggregator can do that other people can't do. That's always been a problem in insurance, especially on the risk-bearing side. Most of these things you can copy if you want to. So I think if you decide to go mass market, Sheffy, you have to have a particular mindset about it. But to me, like, even in areas like workers' comp and commercial auto, there are niches of high margin, profitable business. They're not big, but isn't that like a good foothold? Get in there and then see, can we expand this bubble out? That would be my approach. I think the mass market, really challenging. I don't think most people have the patience for it. So,
yeah, I don't think mass market is an opportunity for insurance startups. I would say. I mean, if you're an aggregator, fine. We talked about Policy Genius several times. The Zebra. If Credit Karma decides to change its business model tomorrow, they're going to be in big trouble, and many others. If Citibank decides to start making money from in-app advertising with the help of Google to sell more car insurance or to promote more ads, they're going to be in big trouble. So, it's a race, and you may exit before people will say, "Oh boy, what did I buy?" Yeah. But I think the next evolution for insurance companies, if they really want to stay in control, is think about products or services beyond insurance and think of them as a loss leader. You can't have it all way. You can't win all the time. You're going to need to lose if you want to win.
I'm with you. Well, timing is perfect because I got little Ollie is starting to stir. So that is the bell that says it's time to end this week in Coverager because he's going to start screaming soon for me to go get him. So it was great to catch up with you guys.
We're back to normal in 2021.
We're back to normal in 2021. I don't think we've really left 2020. Let's fingers crossed that we don't have a civil war in the next week. Fingers crossed. But this was a great conversation. Avi, Sheffy, thanks.
Have a nice weekend.
Thank you.
And for everyone,
bye, everybody.
This has been This Week in Coverager. Have a great next week. Thank you.